Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. And now for a moment of silence.
Good morning, I'm Katarina.
And I'm Lucas, and welcome to the first spring edition of Coyotevision News. Here are your top stories.
The new Career and Technical Building creates job opportunities for students.
Vaping on campus comes with consequences.
And GPA is keeping some students up at night.
Coyotevision News starts now. Vaping is a habit that carries health and legal risks. Here's Camden with more.
According to CBS News, the number of lung illnesses linked to vaping has risen again across schools of the United States, showing no sign of slowing.
When it came to cigarettes, 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, especially with World War II, we did not know of the dangers of cigarettes in the long term.
Well, as you know by what you've been seeing on the news, that no one really knows what's in the fluid that's in the vapes.
Health risks associated with vaping starts out anywhere from cough, sore throat, fever. Then you progress into lung disease, COPD, emphysema. Most of these you don't realize what you're inputting into your lungs.
People buying the vapes off the streets in a store, you really don't know what chemicals are in there. It could be something illegal or very harmful.
I know it is a lot of times advertised as a healthier form of tobacco use, but in general, regardless, it's not going to be the best for your body.
So memory, brain, heart, lungs, the whole thing is affected by vaping.
Patients in 22 states have died from the illness. Health officials previously made grim predictions that the death toll will continue to rise.
And it doesn't make me feel good knowing that people do that still when it's obviously a time for learning.
If these people were puffing in like the bathroom, I would honestly cook them for it.
Well, as of September the 1st, the law changed that anyone under the age of 21 is prohibited from purchasing, possessing, or using a vape. If they're caught, they could receive a citation for it or be arrested.
You can do out-of-school suspension, DAP, and so there's already those rules that are in place that are ready to punish students if they're doing that which is directly against school rules.
The school also deals out punishment. We don't deal with discipline, but the school can actually punish someone for having a prohibited substance, which all vapes are considered prohibited substance on school property.
We, being Generation Z and the millennials, the test dummies for vaping, and I think now those negative effects are really starting to show up quickly.
Striking a balance between grades and life has been a challenge for some AHS students. Here's Gabe with more.
Many top colleges only consider students with a GPA of 3.6 and higher, according to Petersons.com. Many AHS students face anxiety and sleep deprivation when trying to balance advanced classes and after-school activities in the battle for high GPA.
I do think it's harder to move up in GPA, especially during the later years. It's pretty stressful, especially taking like multiple AP classes, trying to keep up, plus doing extracurriculars. I don't think the homework is unnecessary. I mean, you have to practice it somehow, so I think homework is necessary, but it is stressful.
I feel like we do have a lot of homework, and my GPA has gone down over the years. I dropped a pre-AP math class, so now I'm in an on-level, and I think it's a lot easier than what I would have taken this year.
Generally, with young adults, they have a tendency to overreact to certain situations. Understand you can't do everything, whether it's sports, academics, any other extracurriculars. Don't make your workload too much.
You know, if I'm doing HOSA and student council and I'm doing basketball and volleyball, and I'm going to be running track, and I got to make sure that I have a job with 16 hours, and I got to make sure I have my 4.0 GPA by the time I graduate. And that's just way too much for one person to do, let alone somebody who's still going through high school.
Part of becoming an adult is understanding that we can't do everything, and in order to do the best job at what we are doing, we have to have priorities.
I think it's important for them just to acknowledge that they are in fact human. I think just society has put a lot more pressure on academic success, and so in order to make sure that you're prepared, you have to feel like you do so much more than we did 9 years ago.
Because of this, students have brought up some ideas on how to reform the school's education.
I think a study hall would be beneficial for students so they could just catch up on work and maybe just get their mind right before they had to go back to constant classes. I think there's definitely going to be kids that they don't use their time wisely, and it's going to make the teachers and administration think that they're like wasting time, that we don't need it. But there really are students who need that time to just catch up on work.
I think dual credit should be weighted less. I think AP should stay the same because it's a more difficult class. It's more rigorous, it's more homework. Plus dual credit has in-class time to work on homework. So
I think it's good to make sure that students know that you do empathize with them and that you're there for them when they need it to.
Many careers are made possible by a multi-million-dollar addition to AHS. Here's Anna with more.
The new multi-million-dollar career and technical education building at Anna High School is 4 years in the making. The building presents many opportunities for students to discover new career programs, including health science, law enforcement, AV production, engineering, and art.
As soon as they walked in, they were very happy about it because we have a lot more room. It's a beautiful space. We have a lot of things to use, so that implementing that in our class is going to be really, really exciting.
I think it's a lot more conducive to kind of creating an open atmosphere for creating. Kids can look out, people can look in. Creating is a beautiful process, and so I think people kind of want to watch artists work.
We've expanded our health sciences area to add a science lab. We also added a mock hospital, a place for students to practice their CNA skills for state board exams.
This is beautiful. We have 3 rooms here. We have a classroom, we have the lab, and then we have the mock hospital. We have a lot of equipment that we're using here, so we have 6 beds, hospital beds, whereas before we only had 2 of them. A lot of different new hookups. We have oxygen hookups that go to the bed. There's a lot more for the students to be able to practice on.
AV, it's different because we've added a studio, world-class studio with world-class cameras. We've kind of stepped up our game in that area.
The Black Magics let the broadcasting studio get better image quality and just better news overall. The green screen will definitely help with filming. It offers us to do way more things that we could have never done in the old room. This space is more open and offers us a lot more room to work around with our teammates and everyone in the classroom. It also holds a storage space for all of our equipment, so it's not just put in a different room or in the back of the classroom. We can just go in there and grab it, and it's fast and easy. It's so much better than what we used to have before. The building also features an area known as the Makerspace, a workshop where technology specialist Emily Burke says teachers and students are welcome to exercise their creativity, explore new interests, and express themselves.
It's giving the students and the staff in our public school access to a lot of different equipment, 3D printers and laser engravers and plasma cutters, things that people don't have access to at home.
I'm just excited to have like tables where I can work on my stuff. I can work on any projects I might have for classes or personal use. It's definitely gonna help me with my class. And also I just personally find all this stuff like really cool and fun, so it makes me happier.
In other news, the Lady Coyotes edged Williams Prep 2-1 Wednesday night. They play at North Lamar today at 5:30.
And the yearbook deadline has been extended. Order now at jostensyearbooks.com before January 31st. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.
Ha!